Welcome everybody to Firebase After Hours. My name is Peter, and I am so excited to be here with you today because we have an amazing show for you. We have an amazing guest, and I'm particularly excited because we're trying out a new streaming software. So if anything doesn't go quite well, please bear with us, but I'm confident that everything will work out fine. So before we actually start the stream, you know the drill. Let's be nice to each other. We have a live chat going on, and you can ask us questions in the live chat. So send all your questions about the topic that we're discussing today, and we will try to answer them on the stream with our guests while we go. Anything that we won't be able to answer during the stream, we'll try to catch up later on and post the questions into the comments. And if you're watching the recording of this live stream, you can still post your questions into the comment section, and we'll get to them in the coming days. But please be nice. So don't call each other names. Don't call us names. If you have any concerns or any gripes about Firebase, you can always reach out to support, and they will help you. But as always, be nice and polite, and then everybody will have a better life. That being out of the way, let me bring in my favorite co-host. Here he is, Noe. Noe,
favorite or only?
My one and only, and my favorite.
There we go. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm hanging in there. It's I had a few vacation days yesterday, but not feeling very
rested. You had a few vacation days yesterday. So you put all of them into one day.
I crammed 2 in on yesterday. Yeah, I was pinging you.
Yeah, I know. You never know if people are on vacation because they get around to pinging you, or if they are on work. So yeah.
Yeah.
We never know.
Yeah. But anyways, this month for our live stream, I got very excited because somebody on the Android team reached out to me and was like, hey, I'm having issues with Firebase. And usually I'm like, personal project, your work project, this thing, what's going on? And it's actually a work project. And it's the first time I think I've seen a colleague build with Firebase to release something for a work project. Well, probably not the first time I've seen. I'm sure you've seen it a lot more than me. Yeah. I haven't been on the team that long, but it was super cool. They touched a bunch of features. I thought it'd be really good to get them on and then sell everybody on Firebase rather than whatever their app is. I'm joking. Their app is wonderful, and you probably have already seen it. But we let's bring her on.
Yeah, here she is. Hey, Rebecca.
Hi everyone, thanks so much for having me. And that introduction is is quite interesting. I mean, I'm excited to be here and to talk about Firebase and how we used it in Androidify.
Yeah, I think I've been following you for a long time before you even joined Google. So how long have you been at Google, and what did you do before?
I was. Before joining Google, I was just an Android software engineer. So I made a bunch of different Android apps, and I did quite a lot of work with Firebase. So Firebase was one of my, I don't know, it's got a special place in my heart before joining Google. I haven't really gotten much of a chance to use it until now. But yeah, it was we were pushing to make Androidify, and the default in my mind for a lot of these things is to use Firebase. So yeah, I'm happy I got to use it again, and it's been good so far. Mostly good so far.
Did you?
Well, Noe was asking why. Yeah.
Did you use it professionally when you were as a professional Android developer, or did you use it on more hobby projects, or is it just a mix of both?
A mix of both. So I made one of the early things that I remember making is an app that would monitor my electricity. So I'm from South Africa, and we used to have quite bad like power outages, and it got really annoying to know like if you would go home, would you have power or not? And at some point I was like, I saw one of the Firebase products. I can't remember. I don't know if it's still a thing, but one of them was to like monitor connections to your database. I think that's one of the, I can't remember the exact function.
The
But
presence sensor, right?
Yes. And I was like, I can use this to detect, like I'll leave a device plugged in at home and I can use this to detect and notify me if I have electricity at home. I've actually I found a screenshot of this little app that I made before. It's quite fun.
Oh, wait, let me, I can share your screen and then people can have a look at that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So this is many years ago, I think 2017. So I just made a simple app that that detected if your power was on or off at home. But yeah, I was playing around with some different Firebase things. This luckily isn't a problem anymore. I mean, I moved country, but that didn't solve the problem. The power situation is better, but yeah, this was a fun example of using Firebase. And then at one of my previous jobs, we also used it to build like a temporary CMS system whilst we were building out like a more like fancy system with proper, like a full backend team was building out a system and we needed some like stopgap in between. So we made use of Firestore, if I remember the names correctly. It's been a while, but we made use of that and just like made like a sort of very slimline CMS for showing and downloading like content for an app. It was pretty successful, but I mean, in the end, what we did was we migrated to the system that the backend engineers had written for that. But it was a great like getting started and using it for that. Other than that, like I think every project I've used is used like Crashlytics, Remote Config, those kinds of products from Firebase. So yeah, big fan, still a big fan.
Excellent. So you came on to show us about Androidify. Wait, hold on. We never did an icebreaker, Peter. Do you want to do an icebreaker? What's your favorite type of ice cream?
Oh, my favorite type of ice cream. So I've got two favorites. I really like mango, and I also really like cookies. What about you, Rebecca?
Together?
No, not together. I typically just get one scoop, and then because having more than one is too much, I think, and also it's really hard to differentiate the different flavors.
Yeah, I think anything with chocolate in is really good. Chocolate and hazelnuts. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, can't go wrong with chocolate.
I'm definitely a mint chocolate chip and like nothing else. I just like mint.
Mint chocolate. So are you trying to tell us that you're gonna move to the UK?
Is that like a UK thing? I would love to move to the UK.
Yeah, I mean I think I once found cornetto with mint flavor in the UK somewhere, and I think that
I know what that
I've never seen it anywhere else, so I think it is a UK thing. And also teasers you get with mint flavor as well, and Aero chocolate you get with mint flavor. So yeah, definitely. And After 8, of course.
I was trying to figure out the connection between mint and the UK. I was like, okay, sure. But if you're telling me that other countries don't have so much mint flavored things, then yeah,
I think so, yeah.
It's time for you to move.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
Androidify?
Yeah.
Sure. You want to talk about Androidify? I guess I can start with what it is, because maybe people don't know. So maybe let me get to so the app is available on Google Play for those that want to download it and try it. But essentially, it is a new version of the old app of Androidify, which allowed you to create a custom version of yourself using a selfie at this point. And the app is like the new AI era of Androids. So it takes your selfie and it transforms it into a picture into a version of yourself as a bot. So we can try it out on this device that I have. I don't know if I should risk taking a photo. I guess let's try. Why not? So if this is really awkward with trying to do a selfie. It may not get me the best thing. So basically you choose a color of your bot that you want. So we can go for skin tone and you click transform. And what's happening in the background is it is connecting through Firebase AI Logic to convert the image into a description. So it's looking for things like the color of your shirt, the type of fabric that you're wearing, your hair color and your hairstyle, all different kind of like very detailed description of what you're wearing. Once it's got that, we then pass that on to a custom fine-tuned Imagen model, and that then generates the bot for you. So yay, it worked. It's got my it's got my speaker and my microphone in as well.
Yeah, very nice.
So
yeah.
So for AI Logic, that's the part where it goes straight to the Gemini model, and then you're getting like a classifier to say like classify like all the items that you see about this person and their environment in there.
Yeah, so we can go through. So basically, the first step we're actually checking that the image is of a person. So we use Firebase AI Logic for that as well, and essentially in the code base, which is also open source, so you can go have a look at that as well. But essentially, we checking that the image has enough information in it. So we ask the Firebase. We ask Firebase to look at, well, we ask AI, whatever, to look at this image and evaluate it based on a set of conditions. So like the conditions that we have are kind of controlled remotely with remote config, and it's the part of the prompt. So the prompt looks for things like it must be a photo of a person, and it must have a clear like main person within the image. Because if you have like 2 or 3 people, we don't support like more than one bot at the moment. And things like looking for anything that's not, we don't want to be making bots of. So like hate speech, weapons and stuff like that. So it just does that as an initial like validation check on the image to see would this pass our checks. Once we've gotten confirmation that it's passed those checks, we then do the next step, which is generating a caption of the image. So that one similarly also just goes to AI Logic and asks to generate a description. So this has got quite a lot of detail into what we're looking for. So we've got a system prompt in combination with the normal prompt. And
oh, there's even a full table. That's amazing. That's the first time I see a very elaborate table like that. It's impressive.
Yeah, this one has got like, it's looking for things like your facial hair, your headwear, your clothing, footwear, accessories, and the color. And we're specifically asking for it to be like very descriptive and to not include certain things as well. So not including any like descriptions of emblems or any branded stuff as well. And then try and exclude anything in the background. So if you take a photo that has like your books and stuff in the background, if you're not explicitly like holding it, or if it's not really near you, then it won't come up in the description of it. So once that description is made, it is then passed on, this description itself, so not the original image that you've passed in, just the description is then passed on to a fine-tuned Imagen model that then produces the bot image that we have here. There is more to the app. I don't know if you want to like see more of what it does.
Before we do that, you said it's passed on to an Imagen model, and
Yes.
we had one question come into the chat, which is why not use Nano Banana for the image? And I was curious if you tried it with Nano Banana, or if it was like you built this way before Nano Banana, or
Yeah, we did. We were building this before Nano Banana was released, and that's that was, I mean, I think it's only been like 2 or 3 weeks since Nano Banana was released, right? But
Yeah.
we are using Nano Banana for the next bit of the flow, which allows you to choose a custom background. So we found the standard image gen model. I haven't tested it with Nano Banana, but I'm assuming it might be a similar result. Like, we wanted it to be very focused on the Android brand and have the same like the same shape, the same like definition of how a beard kind of looks on a device, on a bot. So we had designers designing, I think it was like over 1,000 different variations of a bot, and like different hairstyles and colors and stuff like that. So it was trained on like a lot of that kind of imagery as well, which I don't know if we'd get so much with Nano Banana. Haven't tried it yet though, but maybe it's good enough to be able to do that. We should try. But yeah, the next part of what you can do in the app is use one of these vibes, we're calling them. So you can choose like a background vibe for your bot. This one is the Pool Maven one, and this is using Nano Banana. So this is passing in the original bot image and then a prompt with like a description, like preset descriptions of what we want these like vibes to be. So, and then we ask Nano Banana, like, add this into the scene, add this bot into the scene, and don't change anything about the bot, but, you know, place it in the scene and make it like the main part of the scene. So this is kind of actually my favorite part of the whole app, is like making all these different background vibes, because it actually makes the bot kind of come to life a little bit more.
Are all those background vibes unique per user, or are they consistent across the app? Like each, like me and Peter will get the same background, or is it each user will get a different one?
So the categories are the same, and the like prompt that we pass to Nano Banana is the same, but every time you run it, it'll be slightly different. So cool. You can run it again if you're not too happy with how like the green thumb turned out, and like the next time it'll be very similar, but it'll look slightly different. Some of the stuff will change.
Oh, okay. Very cool.
Yeah. So
and then can you also export it as a transparent PNG? So for example, if I wanted to use it on a slide deck, for example, but without any of the backgrounds?
Yes. So we've implemented what we're calling sticker mode as well. So what this does is it uses MLKit subject segmentation. So I believe this was a Firebase product at some point, but it's not anymore. I'm not too sure, but MLKit subject segmentation is what we're using. And that runs on device. So that's not using any network calls, and it just needs to download the model locally first. But that model is like through Play services, as far as I understand, and then it is cached for any other app that needs to use that model. So if you already have it installed on your device, you won't even notice that initial download. And then we pass in that original image to it, and we get an extracted out, remove the background from it, which was quite nice.
So
that's pretty
that was
cool.
Running.
Please.
Go ahead, Pete.
No,
oh, me? All right. Yeah.
You go.
Pass the question. So is that, you said that part is running on device. Are there more models that are run on device, or is it mostly done through cloud inference? And then do you think there will ever be a time that we'll be able to bring this model down onto the device? I don't know if you know about the Imagen model or what goes into it, because I certainly don't.
Yeah, so we did do some experimentation with Gemini and Nano for some of the features. So one other feature in the app is when you're within, so you can also provide a prompt. So you can write up a description for what you want your bot to look like. So when you're within this section, we have this help me write function that basically just writes a prompt for you. So if you're very lazy, it'll do that. And we've got it's behind a feature flag, so it's not enabled in production, but in the code, you can actually see how we would use Gemini Nano on device. So we have a Nano downloader that basically downloads the text model, I think it is. I'm not exactly sure what model it was, if I remember correctly. This was implemented by someone else. So I'm not entirely familiar with what exact model it's downloading, but essentially this, we have a switch in the app that you can, well, in the code base, not on the app itself, that you can switch to using Nano on device if your device has it. And you can then do the prompt generation through that. So it'll then be running all on device. As for like using it for the description, so Gemini Nano on device does have a image description API. The reason why we didn't use it within Androidify itself is because you can't at the moment provide an image and a prompt. So with Firebase AI Logic, you can provide multimodal, I think it's called. You provide in the image and the text at the same time, and you can say, what are you looking for in this particular image? Whereas with Gemini Nano, currently you provide it an image and it just gives you a description. It doesn't give you exactly what you're asking for from it. So if we wanted a very descriptive description, it didn't get us that exact, it didn't get us to that same like level of detail. So it would say like a woman wearing red boots if you're lucky. But you can see from the like descriptions and the stuff that we're looking for here, we're looking for very detailed things like the kind of fabric, the collar, your shirt. Like we're looking for a lot of information from
The
the image.
hairstyle.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
it didn't quite.
Me and the Android bot have like very similar, you know. I think I have slightly more hair, but
yeah, so it didn't quite get us what we needed. It is there and you can play around with it to see how it works. But we didn't enable it for the production release, mostly because of this. Like we wanted it to be a really nice like description of what exactly the bot is wearing. I can't find where exactly we used it now. I think in the actual data source, we've got it. Maybe, you know, it's been like 2 weeks since I've done something in the code base and now you're like, can't find anything. Nope, not that one. Image repository, I think.
That happens to me all the time. Well, usually it's like 24 hours. I'll come in and I'll be like, what was I doing?
Exactly.
Who wrote all this?
Yeah. Generate from image. There's one of them in here. If I can find the one that uses the Nano downloader. Oh, maybe it's not in here. I'm not sure. But within the code base, if you look for the Gemini Nano usage, you'll see where we've turned it on or using it. But yeah.
And then earlier, sorry, I'm bouncing all over the place and I got a million questions because I just think this app is the coolest. The prompts, you had them all served from remote config. Was there a reason for that or?
Yeah, so we were working with a team that was also developing for the web, and they were making the website. So if you go to androidify.com, you can also do the same experience. And there was a lot of tweaking going back and forth between like, you know, trying to add extra details and like trying to try different models. You know, like as we were testing, we were just like finding things that we wanted to add to this prompt and we wanted to change within the prompt. So we turned to using remote config for that. So the remote config, currently it's storing quite a lot of the configuration of the app. So the model names, which is particularly interesting because this, when you mentioned Nano Banana, we had, I think the app was already like almost live at this point. Like we had cut the release and we were like ready to roll. And then we heard of like the new model name for Nano Banana and we ran some tests locally. We were like, yeah, this model's looking really good. It's actually way better than what we were using before. Everything works pretty well with Firebase. And like, I don't need to change any code around this. I can just change the model name. And I changed it to Nano Banana and then we were able to ship. So I think like the remote config right now, if you look at like that XML file, I probably should update it because it's still pointing to using the model that is not Nano Banana, but on remote config server itself, we've switched it to using Nano Banana. And of course, Android Studios doesn't like my giant file. It's like, you've got too much information. Yeah, I think at this point I switched it. Yeah, this was the previous one, I think, if I remember correctly. and that's switched on the server. So we were able to remotely control the different models that we were using, update the prompts to change some of the things, add extra information. So this is like a snapshot of what we had. And now on the server, we're controlling all that different information. And similarly, we've also used it for enabling and disabling new features. So today we rolled out a new feature on the app for watch faces. And you can, using a Wear OS watch, once you've gotten to make your bot, you can put a watch face on your watch itself. And
That's
what we
really
did
nice,
was, yeah, we put a lot of the newer code behind feature flags just to, be able to roll it out at a different time to the actual app release that we've made. So yeah, been using it quite a lot to control all of these different configurations, basically.
So I'd like to jump in here because this is actually something that we've been discussing lately with the team. And Rachel from our tech writing team said, well, configuring the model name using remote config, that is not a nice to have. It's really something that everybody should implement, just like they should implement App Check to make sure that their application is safe and secure and only legitimate apps can call the backend. So in the same way, it is absolutely important to be able to configure the model name remotely. And that's not just to be able to make use of the most exciting new model, but also because you might have your app out in the wild, and then the model that you're using gets deprecated. And usually there is always a grace period. So we'll always say, well, in N months of time, this model will be deprecated. So please prepare for that. And you might not be in a position to say, well, I'm just going to recompile and ship a new version of the app. You might have used an agency and they're not around, or they are on a vacation, for example. And so now you need to be able to make that change. And using remote config is something that is straightforward to use, and you can just configure and roll it out. And as you hinted at, you can even roll it out gradually over time, reach out to a small set of users first, like 5%, and then if you notice, oh, things are going well, you can scale up.
Yeah, for sure. I think also once I've started seeing how the model names, or like you said, like the deprecation cycle for some of those models, then you really start to see, okay, because of how people people might not update their apps at all, update from the Play Store at least, then at least your app won't break, right? Because they'd be getting the new remote config being downloaded. So yeah, totally. I think it should be mandatory, to be honest, to put your your model name in your remote config.
When I used to release hobby apps to the Play Store, my the way that it would work is I would release an app, lose my upload key, and then change my package name, and then upload a new app, and then get that app taken down for being a copycat of my previous app.
Sounds like a great process.
Or you risk having your entire account banned if you do that too many times.
It's banned now.
You've just given up on that.
I can't win.
Yeah.
I had another question. So you said that you use the prompt to identify the person. What happens if, for example, I have a photo album and I wanted to create an Android of my parents, for example? So I have a photo album, either on paper or a digital one, and then I just hold the phone up to a picture, and then will that work? Or do I need to make sure that I am close enough so that nothing else is in the frame that would make the app think, oh, this is not a real person?
So I think a photo of a photo would work, but we do also have the ability to just pick a photo from your device. So if you download the photo locally, and then you can then choose it as what you want to upload. So it would, if you do have more than one person, or that's too far in the distance, it probably wouldn't find it. But yeah, if it's just like one person, if it's got enough information, it'll be able to create that bot from it. But if it doesn't, then it'll just say, sorry, not enough detail to be able to recognize it. So yeah, you can convert your whole family into bots.
Nice. Yeah, so I've got this one here, like I got from Google I/O many moons ago.
Yeah.
Which is not an Androidify, but you know, they're cute.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you can't. I've tried uploading a bot and then creating a bot from a bot, and it doesn't work with that way. But yeah.
Is it because the prompt is too strong, or what
Yeah,
happens if you weaken the prompt?
We could possibly remove some of the restrictions. I mean, we've made them all up ourselves, I guess. So we could do some changes to make to do some. I mean, I think before we were checking for a main person, it would just like make a mishmash of people in some ways. And I think a lot of it, I mean, you probably could, because it's like generative AI, you can get away with like maybe once it would do it if you had multiple people in the. I think we have seen like once or twice of getting through and then like making a mishmash of the different people into one bot. So like you'd see the hair color of one, but the shirts of another person. So yeah, I think it's only our own restrictions that we've made. So it's not set in stone or anything like that.
Speaking of restrictions, we did have a question come in on the live stream. Is there any way to make some constraint and condition to AI model? And I imagine this is referring to prompt engineering. I'm trying to join those two words together. It's very hard to do.
Are they they're referencing like
maybe
safety
you could give us a demo of your prompts to see or go back to your prompts and show us maybe how you prompt engineered to say the constraints. And then how well do you feel like those constraints were respected when you were prompting?
Yeah, so what we did was on Firebase itself,
I think we lost audio.
Did you lose my audio? Oh no. Am I there?
I can still hear Rebecca.
Oh, there?
Fine.
Nope. Got nothing. Wait, is it me that lost audio?
It's you.
Oh no.
And we can still hear you. Yeah. Do you think maybe you're connected to a different machine, Noe?
Hello?
I can still hear you, Rebecca. I think it's Noe who's connected too. And people on the stream can also hear you.
Okay, great. So we can just exclude him from the comments.
No, we can make fun of him, but that wouldn't be according to the community guidelines. So let's not do that.
I guess I can carry on talking whilst he figures out his audio.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so what we did was with the setting up the Firebase models. So when we actually call and create these generative models, we pass in and use a lot of the safety settings. So we set that we want the threshold for certain things like harassment, hate speech, dangerous content. We want those all to be blocking like at the top level, I think, if I understand. I think low and above is like, you should correct me if I'm wrong because you know better, but I think low and above is the highest standard, right? Yeah. So you
could probably just drill in and see what the other constants are.
Yeah, so harm block none allows everything.
Yep.
Only high content with negligible to medium high is allowed. Yeah, so low and above is like the strictest of stuff that we were looking for. And we basically set everything to like block, because I mean, it's a little Android. It's not, you don't want anything like this coming through. So we did this for basically everything. We set all these safety settings to turn on and block everything that's not allowed. The one was that we needed for the image was to actually allow adults, which actually it sounds worse than what it actually is. It just means allowing
grown-up people to be in the picture.
Yeah. So yeah, it's not really, it's not anything nasty, but yeah, it's just allowing people. But this, I think, we might not need it for the actual Android, the fine-tuned Imagen model, but if you download the app from GitHub, it won't connect to the fine-tuned model. That's only exposed for the actual Play Store app. So you have to download it from Play Store to get the full proper experience. If you use the one from GitHub, it's actually just pointing to the standard Imagen model, which will also work, but it doesn't give you that exact nice bot shape that you're all looking for. So we had those settings, and then within the prompt itself, there are some extra safety things. And like I mentioned, that first one, we're doing checks for a bunch of conditions before actually letting you pass. So it does an extra set of checks beforehand.
Oh yeah.
Android Studio just really doesn't like this file. Yeah, so the image validation one, we're doing a bunch of I guess these would also probably fall part of the safety checks. Didn't get quite to, we did have a team of people testing a bunch of stuff, so they were able to ensure that none of the content got through. So we were pretty happy with the results from using these prompts, as well as the Firebase safety settings that are built in. So for us, we were just adding explicitly things that we wanted to be cleared out. So also for the text input, so because it's a freeform text field, somebody can enter in anything, right? So we wanted to strip out some content from that. So where is that prompt, if I can find that one? Image description. Come on, scroll. Maybe I should close some other programs running. Come on.
So I determined what the cause was.
Oh, what happened?
It's these headphones I was wearing. They just decided to stop working.
Okay. I thought you might have been connected to your kid's iPod and then listened to their music.
Just listen to yeah.
Yeah, so the text prompt, basically when you pass in the text prompt, we actually restructure it to remove anything that you'd mentioned. So if you mentioned that you want a specific brand name or specific logo, we actually remove that because we don't want to be generating, fake things of Androids wearing certain brand names and stuff like that.
So if you'd ask, hey, can you please create an Android with an Android logo on it, that would work?
I didn't actually try that one, but we did have some, if you're holding an Android, it sometimes would make another little Android on your shirt. So I do wonder how it describes that. I'm assuming it just says a little bot, and then it's a bot in a bot. So yeah. But yeah, so we do some validation with that, and we did have a lot of testing done, and we were quite happy with the results. So yeah, I think adding it to your prompts, if you're really concerned about the safety of stuff, to add an additional check will always be helpful. But I'm quite confident, but I'm not the Firebase DevRel here. I'm quite confident that the safety settings on the Firebase AI setup are pretty good. So yeah.
Yeah, eventually there are the safety settings on the model itself. So we're basically just passing them through. So it's down to Gemini or Imagen to enforce them. And I think, yeah, as you said, they are pretty solid.
Yeah,
they've been thoroughly tested.
Cool. Yeah. What else can we talk about? Any other questions?
I had another question about remote config. Sorry to keep on hopping. Yes. About that. So it seems the default settings you've got there in your XML file, and that's probably, so you downloaded that from the remote config console. That's what I'm guessing, right?
Yes. So those were downloaded, and the XML file directly from the console. I'm not sure if you want me to show the console. I'm a bit
not necessarily. Only if you feel like, oh, let's have a look. But so I was, what I wanted to get at is, this is a pretty large file, and there is lots of multi-line prompts in there, and the text input in the remote config console is mostly useful for, let's say, simple values. and single line input and stuff like that. So it's probably even a good idea to, only have like the basic stuff in there, and then use other tools to make them or to update them. So my question is, if you make a change to the prompt, will you actually go into the remote config console and enter that manually, or do you have a tool that uploads that via the Firebase CLI, or how do you do that?
So at the moment, it's all manual, and we haven't had too many changes coming through. It was mostly when we were testing for I/O that we were changing that prompt quite a lot. At the moment, we haven't changed it in a while, so we haven't had the need to build anything on top of it. What I do want to explore is so the prompts for the vibes at the end. So these prompts here. So these are currently hard coded in the app, which is, like we know, not great to hard code a prompt. But I think what we probably will explore for this is putting these prompts into Firestore. Is that's what it's called now? Is it called Firestore now? But yeah, that will probably extract so that we can dynamically change them. I don't know, maybe we have like an event or something and we want to make some different kind of vibes that come through.
Okay.
So those ones we'll probably extract. And I think, I don't know, I mean, maybe I'm getting advice from you at this point. Is this an office hours or questions and answers? But I mean, I'm assuming maybe
we'll send you a bill.
Maybe it's a good idea to also extract those prompts into Firestore, or are you thinking remaining in remote config is a good idea as well?
We obviously can't make future-looking statements, but I would recommend keeping them in remote config.
Okay. Cool.
And also one thing, and this is just an idea. So if you want to have flexibility in terms of the prompts that you can ship to the app, one thing that might be possible is to say, you have different remote config key value pairs for your prompts. So for example, you might want to have a new prompt that you have for Google I/O 2026. And you could have another remote config value that's an array, and that array contains the list of the other keys that you want to refer to. And then you could do everything in remote config, and you wouldn't have to resort to storing stuff in Firestore. You can absolutely do that in Firestore, but personally, I feel, why not use remote config if you're using it for that kind of stuff?
I see.
Right?
Yeah, I'd actually never thought of it to store a list of keys from. But yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, that's
we accept contributions on the.
Nicely played.
Thanks, Peter. Yeah.
Nice.
What were you going to say before I tried to assign you work?
I think it's getting late.
Right then, end the stream. No, I'm joking. Yeah, I think we've been using the other product was App Check that we used. So that one was pretty simple to integrate. So we had essentially just set up the. I don't know if why is my Android? Oh, I'm not focused in Android Studio. So for App Check, essentially what it does, as far as I understand, maybe Noe should explain what App Check is if he's the App Check guy.
I will let you explain it first, and then
you correct me.
Yes.
Yay, I love that. So basically App Check is essential to use when using any of the Firebase AI Logic SDK. So anything that you're connecting to Gemini, you want to be using App Check, because what it essentially does is it makes sure that the people that are using or accessing your app are legitimately coming through the Play Store and through your app itself. So it checks your certificate that you've signed your app with, And it also does some device integrity checks. So checks that it's like not a rooted device, that the person's like not tampered with the device itself. And it does that and uses play integrity to perform an attestation to make sure that it is like a correct use case of your API. This prevents like super large bills. And now I'll let Noe correct me on anything I've missed.
Yeah, so you got most of it there. It's more than just Android though, right? So it's also the web, iOS, and custom platforms. You can actually build a custom provider for whatever. So for instance, if you didn't like Play Integrity and you wanted to release it to Samsung devices, you could do like Knox, I believe. Huawei has their own version. There's a bunch of different providers that do these integrity checks of the device. So you build your custom integration, and then it's cross-platform. So using that one token, you can send that to Firebase AI Logic, Firestore, and like a remote backend, and it doesn't have to say like, whoa, what device is this token coming from? Okay, now let me go parse it over here. It does that exchange on device, so that way that one token can just be sent up, and it makes the backend logic to decode that token and determine whether or not it's from a trusted source much easier. So, and what's cool is that we just launched a feature this month, and you were the first app to use that feature for App Check. And it's the advanced settings in App Check, which allows you to go in and say how much integrity you want. So there's different levels. There's like device integrity, strong integrity, and basic integrity. And then you also have a license label, meaning that this was an app that was downloaded from the Play Store. And then you also have a play recognized label, which means that the Play Store recognizes that this app exists, right? So if you have it uploaded to Play, but you downloaded it from Knox, you could do play recognized. If you have it uploaded to Play and they download it from Play, that's licensed. And then you can uncheck both of those and go get it from Knox. And it should still run device integrity to say, like, we trust this device. As long as Google Play Services is installed on that device, it should be able to recognize and run some basic integrity checks.
Nice.
And your app was the first one, which is very cool. We were very excited to test it out with you.
Yeah, we had loads of fun with it. With App Check. No, I think it was just I was trying, at least at the beginning, because we weren't going to put it on the store. We were trying to use App Check without the store, but with like debug keys in some way. But then eventually we were moving to the store. So yeah, that was a bit easier once we were certain that we had the store in mind and we were going to put it on there. Then we were just installing the App Check provider for Play Integrity, which is good. So yeah, so now we are ensuring that the people that are connecting to our Gemini APIs are the ones that have installed it through the Play Store and haven't tampered with it. So yeah.
Yeah, that's an interesting question, though, right? Because I imagine that many of the people who might be using it are Android developers, and they might be running early builds of Android. Specifically, any Googlers might be on pre-release versions of Android. So did you address that, or did you just say, well, you'll have to have a final build in order to use the app?
Yeah, so we're mostly at this point just saying you need a final build to be able to use it. I think correct me if I'm wrong, Noe, but we haven't got a way to like get a token from production to be able to like add someone's particular token from production.
Oh, this is the debug tokens, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, if they install it through the Play Store, but they're on like a debug, well, not a debug, but like a user debug device.
Yeah, that's like like they went to like flash.android.com and flash like a user debug because they're like, yeah, that's that will not pass integrity checks because that's essentially a rooted device at that point.
Yeah.
And once your device is rooted, you can do whatever with it, right? So you kind of take away that integrity. So then you would have to use like a debug build of the app that has a the debug app check token registered in your console.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's like the one fold is if you are using like user debug builds, you should really only be using debug versions of the app, because otherwise like integrity checks would just fail. And that's a play integrity portion of it, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Makes sense. Cool. What else do we want to try? Did anyone try convert themselves before the stream?
I've done it a bunch of times. Like I sat there for like an hour one day and just like chewed through like your budget.
Thanks.
I had like a lot, like it was like the first app I downloaded because I just got the Pixel 10. It was the first app that I downloaded on my phone to try it out, and I had a blast with it.
Cool. I'm glad.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, on the web we have on I think every Friday there is the ability to do a VO version of yourself. So yeah, you can animate your bot at the end, so it gives your vibe and your background. So we in the app we've just got the static background vibes, but on the web there is the VO option until Firebase supports VO. Feature requests live on stream.
Oh, well, for feature requests, we have this website called uservoice.firebase or firebase.uservoice.com, right? Mm-hmm.
Come on. Yep. Yeah, but it's fun. I think on the web it's fun to be able to try something else. I mean, it's a surprise if you get it on a Friday, because it is quite expensive VO, I think. So yeah.
So is it just for one single person can get a video, or is it a couple of people?
No, I think there's like a limit of a certain number of people, but it's not just one person, because that would be a bit sad. But yeah, it's every Friday, so we're enabling it for a couple of people, a couple hundred, I think. So yeah, make your bots on a Friday specifically. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, so I'm looking at questions on the stream. There was like an entire side conversation about Dart. Cloud functions for Dart. I don't know, how did we end up there?
I'm not sure, because I've got no Dart code. No Dart code to show. Nor can I speak about Dart because I have no idea.
Oh, somebody said unrelated question. Well, that's fair enough. You can always ask unrelated questions. And so maybe just quickly, I saw that Craig is on the stream as well. And fun story for everybody on the stream, we were inspired by his Flutter stream. And let's see if I can quickly share that. So if you want to join Craig's Flutter stream tomorrow, it says 23 hours from now, you can just go to this website here. It's flutterstreams.com, and apparently he's not the only person streaming about Flutter. So there's other people as well. And then you can join him tomorrow.
And it also looks like Craig is looking for suggestions for his stream.
Oh.
So if you want to throw out a suggestion that what Craig should stream about, I was going to suggest that he should have Rebecca on to talk about Androidify.
Or he could vibe code Androidify in Flutter.
Oh, that'd be pretty cool.
Pass the whole app in and see how all that goes.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think there's one more question, which is the custom models bit. Can we use our own custom models? I believe that the answer, or the question, is with AI Logic SDKs. And right now, I believe the answer is no.
Yes. No is the answer. That's confusing. Yes, the answer is no. You can't use a custom model at the moment. There was some special config done to our project to enable the Androidify model itself. But yeah, if this is something that you want to do and enable, feature requests on what is the link?
Firebase.uservoice.com.
There we go. But yeah, not enabled for widespread usage.
Cool. And I think I'm out of questions. Peter, do you have anything else you want to ask?
Yeah, I had one question that was on my mind since we started the stream.
And then I just
how
keep
many-
interrupting you.
Yeah, exactly. How many people worked on this project?
So from the Android side, it was quite a few dev role that were working on it in different capacities. So we had we had Rob working on large screens. So the app is optimized for foldables. Actually, I've got a foldable here. So you can see the app like works on different size devices, which is quite fun. So we made that. That was like a whole work stream. There were people from the AI team, lots of reviewers. Yeah, so like, I don't know, I can't really give you like a full-time percentage of people because everyone was contributing in different ways. But yeah, there was quite a large number of us, maybe about 15 or so. They can see the contributors on GitHub. But yeah, there was a lot of people contributing and it was loads of fun. There was also the website team, which had like a bunch more people building that and testing and marketing. So it was quite a large effort.
And I forgot the question. It was a good one, though.
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
So in terms of contributions, did you have outside contributors?
So before I/O, it was not public. So we made it public at I/O, the code base itself. And then since then, we have had some outside contributions to like, I don't know, clean up, fix some bugs, which is great. So yeah, if anyone wants to contribute, they're more than welcome to. The link to the repo is github.com/android/Androidify. So I can put that here for people to see. So yeah, if you have something, I would advise if you want to do something big, please do an issue first because you may not get accepted if you work on something large. So yeah, first issue and then pull request. Nice. But yeah, we had quite a lot. I think you can see 33 contributors at this point. So yeah, it's been fun.
Pretty cool. Yeah.
Also so from the Firebase team.
Yeah. Now I remember the question when you said large screens. Does that include TV?
No. So TV doesn't have a camera.
Yeah.
So like, and I guess you wouldn't really have your photos on your TV.
I don't know. Wouldn't you be able to plug your photo stream to your TV? I mean, that feels like a really good use case.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess we just didn't have the need at the time. But
so
maybe.
I think the deeper question is: does TV count as large screen, or is it just not a large screen?
It's a TV, Peter.
We kind of differentiate a little bit with some of our like. I mean, I wonder. I haven't actually ran it on a TV to see what it does, but we're normally talking when we say large screens. It's like your tablet size and your desktop, and like Chrome devices that run Android, and the foldables. So those are like the large screens in that way. Yeah, so we've optimized for those different situations, not necessarily for TV, but I'm actually curious. I might run it on a TV and see what it does, but I wonder about the camera. I don't think that many TVs have cameras.
You might be able to plug one in using USB, but then again, the question is, does the system pick it up?
Yeah,
I remember at one point they had like a camera built into a TV, and the idea was like you could play games with the camera hooked in. But then I don't know. I usually when I'm in front of my TV, I don't want to be like jumping around. Just kind of just be like chilling,
or have a camera pointing at you.
Yeah.
You don't seem to be enjoying this show. Do you want to see something more exciting?
This doesn't seem like your type of humor. You didn't laugh at that last joke.
Here's an Android figure we created for you. Enjoy.
No.
Yeah. Xbox Connect, that's what you meant, I think.
No, there was like an actual TV built with a camera in it at one point, if I recall. The Kinect was something else where you hook it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So if people want to contribute, they can go to the repository.
Yeah.
Where can people meet you next? Are you going to speak at any conferences?
The Flutter live stream tomorrow, Peter.
Teaching Rebecca how to write Flutter apps.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I'll be at DrokCon London next. So that's, I think, in about a month or so. Yeah, that's my next. I think we are doing a talk on Androidify. So me and my colleague Rob, who did all the large screen stuff, will be talking on how to build Androidify, which is probably mostly what we've just kind of discussed today, but not such a focus on Firebase, more on like the details of compose and large screen stuff as well. So
yeah.
This was the deep dive on Firebase.
Yeah, and unless Nohi travels over to London, nobody will derail your talk.
Cool, good to know. Avoid him in my talks. kick him out before he gets in.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, Rebecca, thanks for joining us today. That was super fun, and I think people really had a good time. I saw lots of questions coming in, and thanks for all the side conversations people were having. That is really fantastic to see. As a reminder, join Craig tomorrow on his stream, and we'll be back with another stream in a couple of weeks' time. We're also thinking about going back to more hands-on coding on the live stream. So that's something to look forward to. And if people have any other ideas and things that you want to see covered on the live stream, let us know. You can just leave a comment. User voice is not the right avenue for that. But if you have any feature requests, go to firebase.uservoice.com, where our PMs hang out on a frequent basis to learn about what people want to see in Firebase. Nui, do you have any last words?
Usually, I end my streams the same way. Nope.
Okay. All right. Awesome.
I just wanted to say thanks for having me, though. That was really fun. I really
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
and
this
hopefully
was
I build
worthwhile.
more. Yeah, hopefully I build more with Firebase, so you can invite me.
Yeah,
back.
and then you can come back.
Yeah.
Tell your Android friends.
Yep. Exactly.
Will do.
All right. And with that, everybody, thanks for joining us today. And please tune in the next time. Don't forget to subscribe to the Firebase channel. Hit that bell so you don't miss out when we publish something new. You'll also learn about everything that we add to Firebase, because we have a Firebase release notes video every single month talking about the latest releases in Firebase, because this team ships on a continuous basis. And with that, thanks for tuning in, and I will see you in the next one.